best, you got him for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's race as we go back side by side with the Extreme Motorsports99.com Pro K&N Series. And tonight we are here at Talladega Superspeedway, round number 11. The Fred's Pharmacy 250, that's the Fred's Pharmacy 250, round 11 of the Extreme Motorsports99.com Pro K&N Series. Well, joining me up in the Dre Broadcasting booth is David Everly, and a special guest tonight, Joe White from the Online Sim Racing Network. And I am your main commentator, Sean Zulu. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. How you doing, Sean?
Oh, I'm doing good too, thank you. And how are you, Dave?
Well, it's kind of a cold Monday night here for me. Got a little rain, a little snow, but ready for some warm Dega action.
Absolutely. A lot of great drivers tonight, breaking records of over 200 mph. And Dave, what are we dealing with tonight here, Joe, weather-wise?
Well, weather-wise right now, man, we're sitting at a track temp about 104 degrees, 78 degrees outside, so it shouldn't be too bad of kind of weather. I mean, this track, it's a super speedway. It's Talladega. I mean, what more can you ask for? These cars are going to be nose to tail, bumper to bumper, pretty much the entire time. You're going to be white-knuckled on top of that steering wheel, so you'll see some exciting action.
Oh, indeed, man. Nicely said. One big thing to worry about for the drivers tonight is keeping those temps in check. Not trying to hear that big loud boom and taking out the whole entire field, because we've seen it time and time again. It's not pretty. Well, it's pretty to see, but, you know, for the drivers, it's always very discouraging and aggravating at the exact same time. Just a recap from last race we had. That was the Go Fast Racing 85 at Sonoma Raceway. In that race, Timothy Hamlet brought home his first win of the season. Matt Ridgway came out second. Wally Tieheimer came out third. Eli Green came out fourth. Vernon Markheim came out fifth. Travis Pryor came out sixth. Adam Eisenhower seventh. Caleb Daniels eighth. Dakota Craig 9th, and Garrett Helmlinger came out in the 10th place position, where we took these OVO drivers to a road course. and it was very challenging for some, but it was interesting seeing everybody try and figure out the track with every single lap. And moving on to our current point standings, we have Travis Pryor still leading in points, only 3 points ahead of second place driver in points, Wally Tierheimer. We have Timothy Hamlet, 3rd place in points, Garrett Helmlinger, 4th place in points, and we have a tie for 5th place. That's going to be between Tommy Amasi and Eli Green. So Tommy Amasi and Eli Green tied for 5th place and only 1 point behind Garrett Helmlinger, who is in 4th place. Caleb Daniels 6th, Adam Eisenhower 7th, Christopher Smith 8th, and Christopher Smith only 3 points ahead of 9th place driver Damian Crump at the exact same time. 9th place driver Damian Crump only 1 point ahead of 10th place driver Gary Woobot, rounding up the top 10. Well, Joe, man, the points are very, very close. This is round 11 of 15.
It actually is. Here we go, the first race of the chase here. This is the wild card race. This is what I always like to say it. And I'm going to say, I believe we're Talladega tomorrow night. So if we are, then we got a Talladega sweep here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And this race here is going to bring about it some excitement. It's anybody's race at anybody's ball game.
Actually, Joe, no chase here in the Pro K&N Series. Yeah, just the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and Cup Series. But I'm very glad you talked about that, ladies and gentlemen. Chase Series starting this week. Tomorrow night, Truck Series. Wednesday night with Joe White and David Everly, Xfinity Series. And Thursday night, Cup Series. So all 3 series have a chase coming up. So be sure to tune in as the drivers go onto the path to dethrone the existing champions. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see exactly how that plays out. So tomorrow night, first race of the chase in the Truck Series, and looks like the grid is now ready here tonight. Our pole sitter 36 of Jason Eisenhower, Mr. Highside himself, 66 of Ralph Vanderforst starting 2nd, the 83 of Hal Amy 3rd, 44 of Damian Crump 4th, the 27 of Justin Anderson 5th. We have Timothy McBrayer 6th, Gary Woobot 7th, Matt Ridgway 8th, Tommy Amasi 9th, and Leonard West in the 10th place spot. And Joe, who's going further down this list?
Well, I'll tell you what, we got Khalib Daniel sitting in 11th spot, Christopher Smith sitting there in 12th, got Andrew Riley 13th, Jay Pryor, we know Pat's out there cheering him on, starting in 14th, 13th, or 15th place, Vernon Markheim, I hope I said that right on the last name, 16th, Timothy Hamlet, got 17th place, Gary Helmlinger, I know I probably messed that one up, but 18th, Travis Pryor is another one for Pat T out there, 19th, David White, 20th, Adam Eisenhower.
And here further down this list, we have racing tonight, Kerry Cleaver, Rick Mason, Brandon Ketchum, Chris Voiles, Eli Green. All these drivers racing and rounding out the whole entire field here tonight. It is going to be a wild one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take this time to thank everybody in the chat, and similar to what Joe White likes to do with every single race. So we're going to go over a lot of names, every single name in that chat. So please type it up, get active, say something, say hello, let us know what's on your mind. And we are going to give you a shout out. So I'm going to scroll up here, give me a second. We have Brandon Ketchum. Brandon Ketchum is racing tonight with the Gillen Motorsports team. Welcome, Brandon. Hope you're doing well tonight. Dakota Craig as well in the chat. Welcome back, Dakota Craig. Pat T, as usual. It's always a pleasure. Hope you're doing well, Pat T. Hope you're doing well. It is great to see you again. And further down this list, let's see, Jay Pryor. Jay Pryor is racing in the 80 here tonight. Welcome, Jay Pryor. You probably won't be able to see this until he goes back and watches it on replay. The Dirty South 276. The Dirty South. Welcome to Dre Broad. Well, welcome back. Hope you're doing well as well. It's been a while, actually. They call me Red. Ken Ladd. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night in the Truck Series Chase Race 1. And Christina Snyder. Welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. Hope you are doing well as well. The 4-0 of Joshua Gillen in the chat as well. Joshua Gillen, hope you're doing well tonight. We look forward to seeing a W from you. And those are the viewers in the chat. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. So please, for those who have not yet typed something, say hello. Just say something. You know, we are going to acknowledge it. and hope you guys enjoy the show tonight.
Something.
Something, absolutely.
Well, we're getting set to go green flag racing here, Sean, and it's going to be electric. You know, Talladega brings about it some exciting racing, and you know and I know these guys' nerves are going to be put to the test here tonight.
Oh, indeed, man. You know, and patience takes these drivers a long way. And we're going to see exactly how these drivers handle it. So many drivers like to start in the back of the pack. But at Talladega and Daytona, super speedways, to me, doesn't seem like where you start makes a difference. So fingers crossed for that.
No, it doesn't. Here, as the pace car ducks off on the pit road. You're right there real quick, Sean. Qualifying, I don't want to say it's not important, but not the most important thing. But we're getting set to go green flag racing here tonight. Talladega Super Speedway, K&N Series, Extreme Motorsports 99.com. Green flag's out.
Yep, green flag is out, and Jason Eisenhower gets a commanding lead against everybody. Now, jumping a restart here is not the best thing at a super speedway. You might become a sitting duck, but Hal aiming to the rescue of the rear end of Jason Eisenhower before too long, entering turn number 2. And 44, Damien Crump on the inside of Ralph Vanderforst, high and dry.
Absolutely. These guys are going to get single file. You definitely don't want to get too far out there because they'll freight train right by you like you're sitting still here at this place. As right now, looks like the field got spread out pretty good. Not sure. These cars definitely will suck up in the draft very well, Sean. As you'll see throughout this whole entire race, they'll be able to sit there and go 3 wide like they are coming out of turn 2.
Yep, and that 3 wide is 25 of Timothy McBrayer trying to make the outside line work on his own. That will not work. At least not yet. He is alone. He will become a sitting duck before too long. His run will die. 27 of Justin Anderson on the inside. Gary Woolbert on the inside as well. So mid on inside lane. But Timothy McBrayer still trying to use a side draft to the best of his ability. And is doing quite well, surprisingly.
Absolutely. Still 3 wide out of turn 2. Coming down the bad stretch here. They're 2 wide up front for a battle for the lead. He can hang up there for a little bit, but if he gets help on the inside or that bottom lane gets going, it's going to go on. But I tell you what, these guys right now, they're fanning out. They're still, he's going to tuck in behind them. They're going to go 2 by 2 and heading into turn 3.
And Joe, as we see right now, you talked about the drivers fanning out, you know, so much single file going on for the back in the pack. Already, basically, a lot of different packs getting formed. This is the way these drivers are trying to stay safe.
They are. You got about 2 packs. The first pack up here, you got a bunch of cars. I say the top 15 are about almost 20-some cars. And then you got to go all the way back to about the 20th place where you got small packs. Some of these guys take different strategies throughout the race here, Sean. Some guys, they want to get up there and race like they are doing very heavily up front, side by side, or guys want to go back to the back because it's the big one. That's the one we all think about here at Talladega. When will it happen? It's usually not if it's going to happen. It's when will it happen.
Absolutely. And also that big wreck looks good on camera, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers are trying to avoid that the best that they can. And, you know, speaking of these different packs being formed, we have Kerry Cleaver, 112 of Brandon Ketchum, 18 Rick Mason in the middle, between 28 of Chris Voiles and 13 of Eli Green. Also, one thing, Joe, this track is all about the teamwork. We have a lot of drivers out there who are running solo. Basically, they have no teammates, but we have some teams driving out there at the same time. So when it comes down to it, everyone's your friend.
Absolutely. You got to have teams here to the last lap. Then it's all thrown out the window, and everybody, you know, there's no more teams. But right now, I'm going to tell you what, Sean, you got the top 20 guys right there, nose to tail, 2 by 2 coming down the bad stretch here. I mean, they are steady. These cars will stay glued together, unlike what the Gen 6 car that we're used to seeing a lot of times on iRacing. They'll get single file. Here, along with these cars, I'm going to say the trucks and even the Xfinity Series style cars, they stay side by side a lot. So it's nerve-wracking for a driver this whole entire race.
Oh, indeed. And, you know, the biggest thing up when you go up front, for example, drivers like 27 of Jason Anderson, including the inside line pusher 83 of Hal Amy. These 2 drivers, Joe, pretty much control the pace of the field. And if these guys make a mistake, it could be costly.
Absolutely. You're inches upon inches between each other out there storming around here. And like we just said, the speeds that they're able to bring coming down the backstretch. Now, this car is able to pull close to 200 mile an hour. It's not quite as fast as the Gen 6. They're pushing about 194, 195. It's an old style cup car. But being side by side like they are, that thing's out there in the air. It's jumping around, moving around. You got to be mindful of that. It's still a nerve-wracking style race.
And I've also noticed that the drivers who are pushing the leaders up front, the two leaders being Ralph van der Forst and the 27 of, actually that's Ralph van der Forst, including the 36 of Jason Eisenhower, they are backing off in the turns to avoid hooking, because, you know, Joe, with the more speed these machines have, the lighter they get. With that, I mean, the lighter they get. Now, with that said, it's very easy to make a mistake.
Absolutely, it is. You can get up there, and plus these cars, man, you've heard of the term before, suck up to the back end of another car. What that means is a draft. That car is able to push up and pull. It's almost like reeling in a fish. When you're fishing out there, you can pull that car in front of you up to your front bumper. You don't want to do it too fast, because you get too much of a run, you can end up bump drafting them in a turn, going into a turn, going to the tri-oval. Two places you don't want to bump draft someone. It could cause some heavy damage, and the big one that we talked about.
Oh, some contacts. 48 of Christopher Smith, 23. Caution flies that off the track. Matt Ridgway and Christopher Smith were involved in that. Let's focus on them on replay and see what happened.
Well, as we're going to pull up the Dre Broadcasting instant replay here, we are going to focus on the 23 of Matt Ridgway, see exactly what happened as they were running up front, 3 wide here coming into the turn. We got a couple cars just kind of moving just a little bit, but it looks like 23 and 48 kind of make contact, slide, but they keep it off the wall. No other cars involved. That is going to bring out our first caution of the night here at Talladega.
Oh, indeed. And, you know, Joe, I'm surprised that actually brought out the caution, because it seemed like those two machines stayed off the racing surface.
They did. This is one of the tracks where if you get too far off the surface, sometimes it won't throw a caution. But iRacing's kind of finicky. We don't, you know, I've tried in the past to not even try to figure out how it throws cautions. I've seen cars just get a little sideways and it threw one. So who knows? But there was contact there, and again, that was just drafting, hard racing between the 48 machine and the other one there. They just got together, and that's just something we were just talking about. These guys are right there on the edge when they're side by side coming around here. So I think we'll see everybody come down on pit road now.
Yep, speaking of pit road, the leader up front, Jason Eisenhower, leading everybody down pit road. And so far, majority of the field following him, but who have Timothy McBrayer staying out.
Yeah, Timothy McBrayer staying out. Tires, though, you know, and that's normally in any other race, I would probably say, wow, you know, you come on in 7 laps into a plate-style race. Tires is not the utmost important. Don't get me wrong. They will play a factor later on. But the thing about it is tires, you can run a set of tires here for a very long time. So don't be surprised if you see some guys do 2 tires. Don't be surprised to see some guys later in the race not take any. Now's the time to take that strategy. It's early on. It's only lap 8 of 80. So you got a lot of time to make up here.
And speaking of the 2-tire strategies versus the 4-tire strategy, we have 2 drivers so far taking only 2 tires, namely Jason Eisenhower, including Gary Woobot, but everybody else taking 4. Actually, scratch that. That was about 4 or 5 drivers on pit road who took 2 tires, while everybody else took... actually, lost my thought there. But yeah, like I said, 5 drivers took only 2 tires, and the rest of the field who went down pit road took 4 tires. And up front, so many drivers stayed out.
They did. Like I said before, you're only on lap 7 here on those tires, and it definitely can be a... Yeah, I don't know if... I can't sit here and say that that's a bad move, because this is a plate track. You know, you definitely can hold your own up there. A lot of guys taking 2 tires, like I said, you know, Jason Eisenhower, one of them out there, Ralph van der Vorst right there doing another one, Khalib, Gary, just to name a few, Damian, just to name a few that I could see here on the chart that took 2 tires, a couple of the other ones who took actual 4 tires, and the first one I see is, what is that, help me on that last name. Hal Amy. Okay, Hal Amy, yep, first one there, and then a Cole Kidder, and then Vernon... Markheim? Right? Yep. He's
Absolutely.
Another one there. So, I mean, that's the thing. You got to look. So, you've got strategies all over the place here, Sean. And I think we're going to see that now's the time to do that, because later on, if this thing does go green flag, and you do get some green flag stops in, then we're going to see, man, those strategies, you know, pay off, or how you did that early on in the race.
Oh, indeed, man. That's a very good point. At the same time, for this caution, it might be a good thing because Joe, some drivers are trying to get with their teammates to try and work together in case it comes down to those strategies. And speaking of the strategies, when it comes to green flag pit stops, it's going to be important for the drivers to pit in packs. It's not like a track like Charlotte or Atlanta or something where you can pit in solo. This one is very important to have somebody with you.
Yeah, you definitely need some help. You don't want to be solo here at this place. You will be a sitting duck. I always like to say a rock in water, just sinking, and you definitely will do that if you stay out there by yourself or going to the pit stop by yourself. So you definitely want a tag team partner, helping out. More the merrier. There's a word to use, Sean, to help you out going into the pits.
Oh, absolutely, man. And also when it goes back to the what you talked about, the tires out there. I remember before the new iRacing update that came out this build, these machines would get loose. The tail end would just snap around on the specifically entering turn 3 and exiting turn number 2 when the tires were worn out. So I'm not sure exactly what's happening with this new build, but Joe, from my understanding, this new build has added a lot more tire wear. It's made it a lot more realistic. So basically, those drivers who take advantage of those tires end up succeeding more.
They do, and then basically if you go out there and abuse your tires, you're going to feel it later on in a run. If you go out there and try to save your tires and manage them quite well, you're going to help yourself at the end of the run. Now again, there's a trade-off. You go out there and abuse them and a caution comes out, hey, it plays right into your hand. You go out there and abuse them in a long green flag run, then it's not going to play in your hand. So you got to look at that strategy. It's a trade-off, and it's a lotto. It's a gambling game either way, Sean.
Oh, absolutely, man. And at this point, we have a lot of heavy movers, Joe. We have Brandon Ketchum, who came all the way from 26th to 2nd as we speak, gaining 24 spots thus far. Leonard West, the 60, is new to the top 5 and the podium, actually. We have David White, who came from 19th place to 4th. Rick Mason from 25th to 5th. Most of these drivers decided not to pit in with everybody under this caution.
Well, and that's what we were just talking about earlier on, around the first of the race here, qualifying. Qualifying definitely is important. Don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to start up front. But we can see right here, the man right there sitting in second spot, Brandon, he came from 26th and he's sitting in second. So that tells us right there that on a track like this, yeah, you could come from the back to the front. And actually, guys prefer staying in the back for most of the race. We've seen it time and time again.
Oh, indeed. And also when it comes to that qualifying, Joe, most of the drivers I've found are only qualifying at super speedways, Daytona, Talladega, only because they want to get a good pit stop for those green flag pit stops.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, tell you what, Timothy McBriar up there, now I'm showing him in a McDonald's machine. I don't know if my trading paint's updated or not. What are you showing him in?
Absolutely. Yep, that's what we're seeing. It's a blue McDonald's machine.
Well, then he's got the Mac Attack out there, and he's definitely, man, chomping at the bit. He's out front, got Brandon right behind him. So we'll see if the legend himself, Tim McBriar there, I know he's a good guy, man, like old Tim. He's out here running. Definitely would love to see, I'd love to see him pull off a win tonight, try not to be, biased towards anybody out in the track. All these drivers are great. Anybody can win this race. And they're all equal out here, but I'd like to see him pull off victory tonight.
Absolutely, man. Speaking of Timothy McBriar, he's had some of the worst luck so far this season. So if, that were to happen, that would be quite the turning point for him, round number 11, with now only 4 more races left this season in this series, after tonight's race, that is. So that would be something, hopefully, before the race ends, we're able to get a word in with him and actually, encourage him and let him know we're looking forward to seeing that win.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I'm watching the chat here, Joe, and taking a look at the 80 of Jay Pryor. Looks like Pat T did the paint job on his car here tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. I was about to clicked over to his car there, Jay Pryor's right fast to 80, and now I'm showing him in a Harley Davidson. Is that right?
Yeah. That's showing, but that's a pretty good paint job there, Pat.
Absolutely. There you go, Pat. Nice job. Like that.
I like the rear end. It says Pat T, eye paints.
There you go. Awesome. Well, you know, and it's good too. Real quick, you know, we see guys and girls out here. They paint their own machines. They do their own paint jobs, and we also see real sponsors out here. We've seen it out here time and time again. We spoke of that. Actually, I think our pole setter out there, Jason Eisenhower, runs the simspeedshop.com machine out there, and you know, real sponsors, real people making paint jobs. It's just awesome to be in the sim world.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, it does. You know, these drivers take so much time in these paint schemes, and it does show that, especially under the lights. That is a very, very beautiful sight. And we are now back 1 to green here. Joe being led by Timothy McBrayer on the inside with the help of the 6-0 of Leonard West. On the outside being led by the 1-1-2. That's the 112 of Brandon Ketchum with 59 of David White on his rear end.
Yeah, no doubt about it. These guys are going to stack them and rack them right here as we're coming down the back stretch. Lights on the pace car off. Super Speedway Talladega here. The high banks, man, speed of this place, 2.66 miles of pure high-speed action that these guys are going to put on. They're about ready to get back to business here soon.
Yeah, getting bunched up nice and tight, nice and strong, and some drivers trying to warm up those tires to avoid that very, very deadly wheel spin. Well, at this rate, they shouldn't really get much of it. 65 miles an hour pace speed. But here we have some drivers trying to get back up to the front, namely Jason Eisenhower trying to get back in that race lead. Ralph Vanderforst in right behind him. We have Caleb Daniels, Gary Wubot, Damian Crump. That's 6th place down to about the 10th place spot. And one thing I like about this track, Joe, is that there's not really a guaranteed leader.
No, there's not. I mean, even though you're out there, you know, running here at this track, you definitely got to be mindful of that. There is no guarantee you're going to stay in that lead.
And as we exit turn 4 this time around here, 112 of Brandon Ketchum, Timothy McBrayer getting nice and bunched up nice and strong with Leonard West and David White. Ready to push this time around, and the pace car dips off. Oh man, Timothy McBrayer finds the gas pedal immediately. No hesitation, but a lot of determination. 6-0 of Leonard West here catches up. He's trying to catch up to him, and that 112 of Brandon Ketchum on the outside line was caught sleeping, and he's trying to play catch up.
Yeah, no doubt. There's one move, though, I would not advise to do as a leader. Get too much of a jump here, because what's going to happen is if those cars behind him get in a single file line, you're going to see them just rocket past them up front. The 112 stuck outside. He's got a little opening. Can't do it. The 59 moves on the inside there, and that's of David White who's there. And like I said, here comes the outside lane. The inside's already caught Tim as they come down the back stretch. You just don't want to get that kind of jump out front, Sean.
Oh, indeed, man. That could have been deadly, but good thing for him. Lucky for him, 60 of Leonard West was helpful enough to stay on the inside and assist him in increasing the speed of the machine. But a new leader of the outside line, 1-8 of Rick Mason, 112 Brandon Ketchum as his pusher with the help of the 10 of Caleb Daniels.
Absolutely. Looks like they're coming out of Tri-Oval. I think Tim's going to lead this lap here tonight. That's right, Tim McBrayer, man, the legend himself out front leading it. But look at that high line. The 3 cars are hooked up high coming out of turn 2 now with the 18 leave his dancing partner, the 112 up top of Brandon. Looks like they're going to stay there and work together. Usually a guy on the outside once they get there. Nope, now he goes to the inside going down the back stretch.
And now 18 of Rick Mason. It's going to get worse for him before it gets better, but 25 of McBrayer to the rescue of his rear end on the outside line. 112 of Brandon Ketchum, 10 of Daniels, both clear and get down to the inside line, and leaving out 44 of Damon Crump high and dry.
Absolutely, tandem pack drafting right there, 2 by 2 as those guys, man, dove down on the inside. That was a beautiful move right there by Caleb and Brandon as they went to the front side. You saw them drop down on the inside lane. Well, these guys, man, are definitely working together and working together well as the front runners now are still nose to tail, trying to let those cars cool off a little bit. Like you mentioned earlier on, you can't get too close to those guys too early or you will heat these motors up in a heartbeat.
And as the outside line struggles to get created, to get formed, Damian Crump in the lead of the outside line. 36 of Jason Eisenhower is right behind him, trying to get up to his back bumper and push him, but so far not having enough help. And 66 of Ralph Vanderforst, 3rd place in line. The good thing about this, the more bunched up you are, the faster you go. So like you see right now, the inside is more bunched up. Therefore, it's the place to be. The outside not so much.
No, the outside looks like it's at a standstill, but don't give it too long. If those 5, 6 cars up high get nose to tail and start working together, they can bring that high line. You see them slowly but surely trying to creep up to the front. Here's the 44 machine there, Damian Crump. He's got help by the 36 of Jason Eisenhower, who's got that Sim Speed Shop machine rolling right now. They're trying everything they can to get the high line going down the back stretch. Can't quite get the momentum as the inside lanes just got a slew of machines there.
And I was also monitoring the speed of the outside line. Jason Eisenhower, Damian Crump were pushing about 197 miles per hour entering turn number 3. These guys are trying to break that 200 mile per hour barrier. But so far having no luck. Ralph van der Forst still trying to play catch up. So at this point the outside is going to suffer before it gets better here. I mean, it is going to get better. The outside is starting to get more bunched up. And from experience, what I've noticed, Joe, and I like the outside because of this, is that the outside lane, when you're a pusher, basically in the case of Jason Eisenhower, you can cool your motor better compared to Caleb Daniels.
Every time I raced, I always liked the high side a little bit better. Felt more comfortable, because one thing is when you're tucked behind someone on the low line, you cannot see the apron of the turn if you're too close to them with a big wing in front of you. I always got scared that I'm going to clip that thing. On the outside, you can actually see the wall and the other car beside of you, so you got a lot of judging room there. So I preferred the outside lane when I used to run here on the plate tracks. But look at this now, battle for the lead. The 10 machine's going to try it. He's got help from the 44 there. Damian, they're going to try to take that lead. Wow, race to the front there across the line.
You should have seen that right there, Joe. Damian Crump was like, should I push him? Should I dump him? He tried to dump him, but I was like, no, just push him. He pushed him past the 112 of Brandon Ketchum, and now Caleb Daniels takes over the race lead and the lead of that bottom lane. Damian Crump still leading the outside line, and now a drag race between Caleb Daniels, 44 of Damian Crump, entering turn 3.
Yeah, and what that did, that pass the 10 machine there, Khalib did, it let that high line get a little momentum and get up there. But you see the 44, Damian, falling off the pace just a little bit because he doesn't have that guys right there behind him. There are about 7 or 8 machines up high and about 7 or so down low, but they're kind of fanned out and spread out a little bit. They're not all tucked up there and trying to bunch up and work together. Again, it's just going to be those top 4 guys look like they're drafting a little bit better as of right now.
And Joe, here for the back in the pack, we have some drivers who have formed a pack. Not really a pack, but it's only 3 drivers here so far, being led by the 48 of Christopher Smith. We have Eli Green in this mix and Cole Kidder in the 20th place spot. That is 18th through 20th. These drivers pushing about 195 and increasing miles per hour entering turn 3, but they will lose a lot of time.
Well, the only hope that they've got right now is to stay nose to tail like they are, and hopefully that pack stays double file up there so they can get a run and maybe get back up and get back on the tail end of the draft. Because if they start battling, it's going to lose them. Because you got to look here, Sean, the top 15 to 20 machines, actually the top 15 to 16 are separated only by a second between them. So they're all right there bunched together. And then you got to go even further back. Pack this one, you got Jay Pryor, Timothy, Travis Pryor, Garrett, Adam Eisenhower, and Tommy Massey all back there. Their only hope is what they're doing. Just stay nose to tail, hope this thing rides out and see what will happen.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the pack, that's being led by the 8-0 of Jay Pryor. These guys are about 5 machines strong, actually 6 machines strong, and they are doing some amazing speeds. You know, in this case, these drivers have options of the strategies to use to try and keep that momentum up, Joe. If, for example, 49 of Timothy Hamlet ends up overheating from pushing 80 of Jay Pryor for too long, Jay Pryor might get out of line and go to the back of the pack.
That is true. He can do that. The problem is if he steps out of line as of right now, it's going to break their momentum. If they want to keep pace, I mean, they're 13 seconds past from the leader right now. They've definitely lost that pack up front. So their best option now is to stay a single file. And maybe if he starts to overheat, do what they're doing now. If you can see, they're not tucked up under each other right there on their back bumpers, but they're about a half car length off from each other. That is textbook drafting, Sean. I don't know if a lot of people may want to know it or not, but that is actually what you do to keep a car cool here. Don't tuck up. Now what you'll see with 15, 20 to go, 10 to go, You're going to see it, forget about it, blow the motor sky high like a rocket. You're going to see those guys pushing and just knocking each other's back bumpers off. As of right now, though, they've got that gap, and that's helping that motor stay cool.
Absolutely, man. Textbook indeed. And great strategy by the drivers, benefiting themselves now and for the long run. Timothy Hamlet, Travis Pryor, Garrett Helmlinger. And looking at Garrett Helmlinger's machine, that machine has seen better days. The rear end is dinged up. It looks like it was a bad bump draft job by somebody.
Yeah, probably so. Just got up there, bumped it a little bit too hard. You know, the rear end of these cars, not so bad as long as you're in the draft with someone. Now, the front end, I've seen guys have a little bit of front end damage. As long as they were in a draft with someone, they were okay. If they got, you know, out there by themselves, usually was kind of like a big, oh, we got a wreck up front. The 60 machine is involved. Tim's involved. That's a big one up there.
As we pull up the Dre Broadcasting Instant Replay, we're going to take a look at the 60 of Leonard West here, see exactly what happened and how many cars were involved here, as we were focusing on the 60 machine. It's him and Timothy McBrayer running side by side, contact between them, both into the outside wall. Don't really see too many other cars really involved in that, which is really really fortunate with this being up front.
Yeah, there's a Coors car got in the back of Timothy. Don't know which one that was. I couldn't get the number right off, but yeah, just unfortunate there, Dave. Like you just said, 60, him, Tim McBrayer, and the 60 machine there, Leonard West, they were battling it out, you know, tooth and nail, and then just got hooked contact there between them. And once you get hooked with these style cars, there's really not a lot you can do.
Yeah, very unfortunate for every single driver involved in that. And yep, the other driver getting a piece of the action in the back of Timothy McBrayer was the 83 of Hal Amy. Nowhere to go. Track was blocked. Oh, pretty much blocked at that point, but that definitely could have been worse. So great job to the drivers minimizing that and not making that worse than it actually was. But going back up front, Caleb Daniels, the leader, leading everybody down pit road, and everybody is following.
Yeah, and I got a feeling you're going to see a lot of guys. Now, the guys that took 2 tires, they're probably going to top the other side off, which why not get 4 tires now? We're in 22 laps in. So I'm a gambling man. I'm going to say most of them should take 4 tires at this point. As the 112, he just went on through pit road there for some reason. Don't know if he just overshot his pit box or something happened, but let's look at some of these times. There are some guys out there taking 2 tires. So surprising with 22 laps here, Sean, that some of these guys will take 2 tires. You know, I would just go ahead and why not at this point take 4, and then maybe the next time take the 2 again.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it makes me wonder exactly what they might be thinking with those strategies. We're going to see exactly how that plays out for the drivers in the long run. And going back to the status of 112 of Brandon Ketchum, yes, he ended up missing his pit stall and is going to have to either go back this time around or choose to stay out, but having 23 lap older tires, and that's going to mean, you know, less gas in his tank and making the car lighter. So with that said, a lighter machine because it has less gas and also having worn out tires, that is not a good combination.
No, it's not. And one thing we got to look at too, I mean, we had a caution around lap 7, 6 or 7. We've had a caution now around lap 21, 22. He's got to think about it. If he does not go in, he's obviously probably going to have to go in for fuel anyways. Why not go in there, get 4 tires, fuel that thing up? You're going to be in the back of the pack no matter what. Again, we've talked about it a million times. You know, you could come from the back up here, pace yourself. There's still a lot of racing left. We're only a lap 23 here of 80 tonight at Talladega, so it's going to be very interesting to see. I would, if I was in his book or in his position, I'd just go ahead, go on in, give him 4 tires, fuel, and go to the back, and then that way I know I'd be fine.
Yeah, that's a very good point, man. In that case, yep, he has nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And let's see exactly what he does exiting turn 4 this time around.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go into pits. Again, I mean, he's going to have to pretty much pit for fuel. I mean, he's got to be running right there. He doesn't want to get caught in a green flag run and running out of fuel and have to pit. Now's the opportune time. Yes, he's giving up track position. Everybody would go, well, man, he's giving up so much track position. Yeah, but at Talladega, you can make that up in a very quick manner. So it's not so bad on his end. Get the 4 tires, get the fuel now, start in the back, come back to the front here, and a very, later on in the race.
Oh, indeed, man. Very good point. And as we had promised there, Joe, we'd like to get a word in with the 25 of Timothy McBrayer. Were you able to get were you able to get in contact with him?
Yeah, Tim McBrayer, Joe out in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Tim, I'll tell you what, man, he's running good up there. You had that Mac Attack machine, man, flying high up there all night long, and I know, man, you was just smoking your cigar and just having a good old time. Unfortunate, got hooked with the 60 up there, slammed the outside wall pretty hard. How's the car right now?
It's doing great right now, Joe. I had to get it fixed.
All right, well, with it fixed now, you got to remind me, and maybe Sean and them can remind me, do y'all have the quick fix here?
Just one.
Just what? Okay, good deal.
I just used it.
All right, well, there you go. You're able to use it. Now, with that said, so you got a clean machine out there. You're in the back of the pack a little bit. It takes a little, you got to be a little more patient coming through the front, but you think you got the car to bring it back to the front?
Sure I do, pal. Stay on my way.
Oh, no, tell them. Spread the Red Seas for Tim, folks. They're spread the word. All right.
Oh, I'm talking about they dance around, Joe. I can't.
All right.
It's hard to get around them.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, looking good out there in that 25 machine tonight, Tim. Good to see you out there running good, man. Well, good luck for the rest of the race.
All right, Joe. I appreciate it. Tell everybody I said hi.
All right, man.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, Sean. Well, that's Tim right there. He's got that McDonald's machine rolling. I wasn't sure if they had the fast fixes here. I know one time they said about taking them away, but figured they'd have one for the Talladega race. But that's good. He's got a clean machine. I'll see if just be patient. I like the thing. Hey, look, maybe free fries if everybody moves out of his way. That might be something you can throw out there to him.
I'll jump on that anytime, man. I'll jump on that.
It's gotta be at least a Big Mac.
Hey, yeah, you offer free burgers, I'll be like, I'll park in the pit for you. Why not?
Here in the lead, we now have the 18 of Rick Mason. As you know, that's going to update here before too long. So Caleb Daniels still in the race lead, and Rick Mason in second place, and we should be one to go this time around. Yeah,
one to go when the lights on the pace car come off here, and these guys are going to be trucking around. Now, we was talking about the 112, excuse me, Brandon right there earlier. He did take 4 tires like we were talking about in fuel. Again, might as well. You were going to be in the back of the pack anyways. Don't risk the 2-tire stop this early. Use it maybe later on when you're up front or whatnot. So back in 18th spot. He's going to be looking to try to truck his way back to the front. Tim McBrayer, he's back in the 13th. Not too far back off after that incident. The 60 machine there, we were talking about him earlier. Leonard West, unfortunately, lapped down. He's back in 26th position.
Yep, Leonard West getting the worst end of that deal, that incident. And his best bet right now is just hoping for a caution, Joe, to get the lucky dog.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and he is definitely in a good spot for it. Now, we did talk about Tim. He probably will get an EOL, obviously, for the incident earlier on. So he'll be back in the back of the pack. So he'll start. We can't stress it enough, though, Sean. Even though you're in the back, everybody be like, well, man, that's a long way to go from 25th all the way to the front. Well, at this track, we just said it earlier, there was 20 cars within a second, at 1.1 second of each other. That means they're all nose to tail right in a bunch.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, we've always seen a lot of drivers go from the back of the pack to the front of the pack in no time. Drivers starting in the back and winning races. And we have drivers like that who basically have the strategy week in and week out, namely 59 of David White being one of those drivers. And status check on David White. David White is currently in the 6th place position. And Timothy McBrayer as well is one of those drivers who, for the most part, has that strategy. But sometimes it does work out, sometimes not so much. And David White behind the 21 of Kerry Cleaver, who has come a very long way tonight as well, from 24th to 5th.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Khalib right there in the top spot. Ricky Mason there. Greg Warbert, like you said. Jason Anderson, he's sitting in the 4th. Kerry Cleaver there in 5th. David White 6th. Jason Eisenhower 7th. Christopher Smith in 8th. You got Vernon Markheim there in 9th. Tommy Massey running out the top 10. So we got the who's who here at the K&N Series here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And I believe the lights are off on the pace car. Sean, we're about to kick these things back in high gear here at Talladega and have some awesome racing.
Oh, indeed, cannot wait. The 10 of Caleb Daniels with the help of 7 of Hubert on the inside. On the outside line, 18 of Rick Mason with the help of 27 of Jason Anderson going green this time around. The Fred's Pharmacy 250, that's a Fred's Pharmacy 250, round number 11 of 15 of the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series. So once again, check them out, ladies and gentlemen, at ExtremeMotorsports99.com.
Well, you know, I'm wondering if Fred's going to give out some free aspirin after this race. He's probably, some of these drivers are going to need it. I know Tim, after hitting that wall like he did, wow, that was a hard lick. So, you know, Fred Pharmacy, get ready for some business. I think I lost Sean on that one.
I'm only African. I'm just messing. And Joe, one thing I forgot to point out was that the drivers have a 50% fuel limit like they've had all season long. So here, green flag pit stops are expected in order for them to be able to make it the full race. Well, in this case, the remainder of the way, 55 laps remaining with 54 lap shootout coming up.
Yeah, if these guys was going to, you know, you would have to make one more stop, and that's why I was saying it's going to play in the advantage of the 112 Brandon there. He says he took 4 tires. He could take 2 on if it does go in a green flag stop and get a lot of track position here.
Oh, indeed. He's currently in that 15th place spot behind the 08 of Cole Kidder. But here up front, exiting turn 4, going green this time around. Everybody ready?
Absolutely. Pace cars pulling up there, going to duck off on pit road. It does. A man up front in the 10 machine, Caleb Daniels right there. He's got Rick right on the outside of him. Jason as they slowly but surely, green flag in the air. Here we go. We're back racing here. K&N style, ExtremeMotorsports99.com, Talladega. And look at that number 10 machine there, Daniels. He gets a good jump out front. That outside lane could form up and maybe freight train him as they're going to try to with that 7 up top.
The 18 of Rick Mason on the outside line here, waiting for some assistance, and so far the assistance not coming quick enough. That's 27 of Jason Anderson. Anderson stays down low. 18 Rick Mason alone on the outside line. Nope, David White, a run of a lifetime. The run from nowhere with 48 of Christopher Smith.
Yeah, you got 4 cars up high and about a whole slew of them down low heading into turn number 3. But you got that number 18 machine up high of Rick. Is he going to stay up there along with his dancing partner, the 59 machine? That 59 machine being David White, like you said, the 48's tucked right up underneath him, Christopher Smith. They come out of turn 4 to complete lap 27 of 80. Across the line, it'll be lap 28 here. A man out front coming out of the trioval right now is the 10 machine of Daniels. Is he going to hang on to it to cross the line? He does. Takes that lead for that lap.
And Joe, it's that time. We have such a treat for the viewers out there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Turn up the volume, turn up the sound. The Crank It Up cam. Enjoy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Crank It Up Cam, courtesy of the Dre Broadcasting Network with David Everly. Hope you guys enjoyed that, listening to these V8 machines roar and sing as one. Well, here in the race, Caleb Daniels still in the lead on the inside with the help of the 18 of Rick Mason, but the outside line Joe is still struggling.
It is. The outside lane looks like it's struggling a little bit. They were up there jockeying. They were 3 wide earlier on there, as everybody was seeing through the cranked up cam there. So outside, though, definitely got to get formed up a little bit here, getting kind of a single file lane. You see the 33 machine there? That's Vernon right there. He is hooked on the back deck lid. It looks like I can't see the number right off the top. Maybe you can. What was that coming up? 59, David White. Yep, there you go. Finally saw it. It came around the corner. But you're right there, Sean. That outside lane, it gets up front, kind of falls back. It's kind of like an accordion effect.
Absolutely, and as we see right now, they are getting very close. The 10 of Caleb Daniels, almost a drag race. Yes, it is a bump of a lifetime by Vernon Markheim on the back bumper of David White. And the 48 of Christopher Smith gonna be a helping hand, a helping bumper to make sure that Vernon Markheim stays glued to the rear end of David White. And you saw right there, Joe, entering turn 3. Well, throughout the backstretch, Vernon Markheim was hooked up to the rear end of David White, and because he was already hooked up, he decided to continue pushing to the turns, through the turns.
Well, they came across the line 3 wide up there. Contact almost could have been a big one. That was absolutely good driving job by the 88. Actually, it was a 66 machine right there. Man, I'm going to tell you what, Sean, that could have been disastrous. That could have been our big one right there, but he held on to that machine in the middle of the turn, so it was contact there while they were 3 wide.
Oh man, nice save indeed, and man, one driver getting the worst end of that deal, and that will sting. 28 of Chris Voiles, heavy left front damage. That's the left front damage on that machine. He is trying his best to counter it with the use of his right foot through the floorboard, including the draft.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If he stays tucked up behind someone, won't hurt him too bad. It's when he gets out there by himself that it will. But, man, they were 3 wide and almost total disaster happened right there. Still, that outside lane, look at the 33 machine of Vernon. He is trying to push up front. He's got the help of the 48 of Christopher Smith coming, but it's going to be all too, man, I don't know if it's going to be too late. Look at the 10, though, looking on the outside. He's going to try the 3 wide in the back, the 3 wide up front.
But Vern says, nope, I am not going to push you. Takes it 3 wide against him, but 48 of Christopher Smith decides to stay with the 10 of Caleb Daniels in the middle lane. But 28 of Chris Voiles, despite his damage, he is still determined to do some damage on the outside with the help of 33 of Vern Markheim.
Absolutely. Drag race to the line, this time by side, the 59 machine of David White. You got Daniels on the outside there. He's got help 3 wide behind them up top as they head into turn number 1. The middle lane got a push like no other. The 48 machine would love to clear him there in the middle and maybe help him out. The 10 machine of Khalib, he is staying with his drafted partner. They bump touch up top coming out of 2.
Oh man, Vern Markheim lost momentum due to his right rear tapping the wall. And Chris Voiles backed it down to avoid getting in trouble. And as a result, the outside is still trying to make some moves. But Vern Markheim is dropping like a rock right now. Side by side with the 66 of Ralph Vanderforst. Mr. High Side himself is going to have a hole to fall in line.
I don't know. It looks like he's trying to squeeze that 33 machine in there. He's thinking about staying high. He's thinking about going down low with him. There he goes. 2 by 2 as they come across the line. This time by in a double stack formation all the way back. These guys are getting very hefty racing. I always say it's a hornet's nest. It's a mess throughout the whole entire field.
Indeed, and great sportsmanship by the 23 of Matt Ridgway. He let him in, and 28 of Chris Voiles here still in line behind 23 of Matt Ridgway despite that damage. And here Chris Voiles' teammate, the 69, actually 21 of Kerry Cleaver here tonight, has fallen back. He was behind him not too long ago, but now Kerry Cleaver is way off the pace and continues to drop off the pace at a very fast rate, pushing about 182 miles per hour with no help.
Yeah, no doubt about it. These guys up there, man, are pushing each other like no other right now. They're still glued together side by side using a side draft. Somebody didn't get the memo up there that it's 43 laps to go in this one. They think it's the last lap here, and they are racing like it. The 59 machine of David White. You got the 10 of Daniels up top. Ricky Mason right there down low along with Christopher Smith. You got about 5 or 6 machines up high and about 6 or 7 down low, and they all want that top spot.
And Joe, not sure what happened, but 31 of Andrew Riley solo on pit road as we speak. Is going into his pit stop. Green, oh, actually looks like he missed his pit stop and has to just drive through under green flag conditions. Never a good thing.
No, it's not going to be disastrous to him. I saw a car earlier on go up the track and tap the wall. Might have been him that I got a glimpse of. Couldn't see who exactly what it was, but I think that might be if he's one on pit road. Look at these guys up front. Dicey, very, very dangerous move by the 10 of Daniels. He chops the nose off the 48 of Christopher Smith there, who was just all over the back deck lid of that machine.
And Ralph van der Forst missed the high side himself, taking over the outside line 3 wide past the slow machine 31 of Andrew Riley. Andrew Riley is way under, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to get in the draft of these guys because they're now way past him. And now his best bet is for a different pack behind to catch up and pick him up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Or, you know, like we said, a call should come out and get that lucky dog here. The 66 up high, though, of Ralph Vandervoort right there along with David White. Actually, the 33, excuse me, Vernon. He's up there. They're tucked up nose to tail. They're trying to hold that outside lane. If they can get those guys down low to break up like they're doing, they can get that outside lane to move as they storm out of turn 2 here at Talladega Super Speedway of lap 41 for the K&N Series. ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And I tell you, it's been an awesome race here so far, Sean. These guys are definitely putting us on a very good treat for all the viewers.
Oh, absolutely, man. Nicely said. And, you know, Joe, this is now, we are coming up to the halfway mark this time around. Once we cross the start-finish line, a 40-lap shootout here to come. And the drivers this far have run about 16 to 18 laps on their tires and tanks. So here before too long, those green flag pit stops should kick in. A new race leader, the outside line leader, 66 of Ralph van der Forst, taking over the race lead this time around with the help of 33 of Vern Markheim, but still not enough to clear the inside.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They are still stacked up 2 by 2 up front there. The 66 machine, like you said, of Ralph. He's got that high line rolling with the 33 right behind him. So you got about 5 cars up high and a slew of them down low there. But that high line is holding its own there as it is trying to hook up and bring them boys to the front. You see those cars jockeying around the lot as they come out of turn 4. That's just how unnerving some of these machines are when you're tucked up behind someone.
Absolutely, man, getting that bad air, but so far doing an amazing job. 48 of Christopher Smith trying to fight it, to try and keep that machine in check, which leaves the outside line, or benefits the outside line, because they were able to gain some time against them. Vern Markheim going up high to maybe get a little bit of a slingshot on the exit of turn 2. And yes, he gets a slingshot, and now with the help of 23 of Matt Ridgway coming up to him at a very fast rate.
Yes, they are. Like you said, that high line is trying to pull up there a freight train coming around the 33. He is hooked on the back deck lid. That man up high of the 66 there of Ralph. But look at that. Oh, he collects it, and this could be the big one. It's a huge wreck. And up front, cars flipping the 10s around. We got a bunch of men involved in this one, Sean.
Oh, man, that's going to be the big one this far.
Yes, it is. Let's take it to Dre, man, here. Dave is... He'll get us on the replay, let the viewers see on that one, but it was a big one.
Yeah, most definitely. As we're going to take a look here, following the front, following the 66 of Ralph Vandervoort, as he was being pushed by the 33 of Vern Markheim. Oh, a bad tap into turn caused that Caleb Daniels involved. Also looks like the 18 of Rick Mason flipping around. Tell you what, let's get the viewers a little bit dizzy here. We're going to go on board with the 18 of Rick Mason here. Watch this live from the cockpit as this happened in front of him. Nowhere for him to go. Looks like he bumps the back end of the 59, gets hit in the back. And, well, folks, that's what it looks like from the cockpit as these guys are flipping around at Talladega at almost 200 miles an hour.
Oh man, that is never pretty. A lot of unhappy drivers after that one. Looks like it was a bad hook through the turns there that caused the chain reaction, or the negative effect back there. But you know, that's a very good thing for all the drivers who were further back behind that wreck, Joe. They had enough time to react.
They did. The guys went back there, and that's usually the game plan on their end. They stay far enough back that they don't get caught up in it. It's always a danger when you're up there racing as hard as those guys were, that you just never know. The big one could happen. We'll call that one the mini big one, because it took out a couple good drivers. Happened up front. Could have been more worse than what it was. A good awareness by a lot of those drivers up front. I like the comment of Hell out there, or Joshua said, whoever was flipping, well, they did. Well, I guess they don't need Fred's Pharmacy now.
Indeed. And everybody down pit road here as we speak. Caleb Daniels pitted in 1 lap ago, and unfortunately, as a result of that incident, we've lost one driver, 33. Vern Margheim retiring early for the evening. We look forward to seeing this driver back here for the next race next week at Chicagoland Speedway.
Yeah, I hate to see any car, man, come out of the race here. A lot of good ones, though. Like we said before, the 66, the 33 machine, just to name a few right there. You also got the 10 machine there, which he was up front. It's actually still showing him up front, but I know he was involved in that. So, I don't know if he got back out, but actually it's just several other ones back there. Let's see who else. The, that 23 machine, I believe he was involved in it also.
Absolutely, yeah, he has shuffled a lot of drivers back, and so many were involved in that, getting towed down to pit road. 23 of Matt Ridgway included in that. He is 1 lap down on pit road still. The driver is not in the machine, so he either ended up using his reset quick fix early on, or is still getting towed down to pit road. And we only have now 20 drivers on the lead lap. Leonard West in the 6-0, the first driver 1 lap down. Ralph Vanderforst is a lap down. Vern Markheim disconnected, unfortunately. 18 of Rick Mason 1 lap down, including Matt Ridgway 1 lap down. So these drivers will be racing hard for the Lucky Dog once we go back to green flag conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, just watching these people at the chat, we got to get a chuckle out of them. And talk about emergency crews are on the way, and true enough, iRacing doesn't have like a virtual emergency crew, but that would be kind of cool to see a little ambulance running across the field there if we got in a wreck. But that's just something maybe they'll have to work on. And there you go. It's something you can pitch them, Sean.
Absolutely, man. With the way iRacing's been updating and adding things, they'll add things like that before too long, man. Before too long.
Yeah, little tow truck running out there picking up the car and whatnot. So, with all that said, this right here is probably the realest thing you're going to get to actual being in a real race car. A lot of these guys, especially an old guy like me, who, well, one, unless you've got a convertible, I'm not fitting inside of one of these machines to begin with, unless you knock the front window out. But with that said, a lot of these guys out here are never going to be able to touch a real race car on a NASCAR sanctioned style track like this, Talladega, or anything else, especially at these speeds. So this really is the closest thing to realism that there is, and iRacing definitely puts on a very realistic representation of what NASCAR is.
Yeah, and for all those viewers out there who do not know about iRacing, check it out. You will not be disappointed. iRacing.com. That is iRacing.com. And join this movement and join this community, not movement, community, here with everybody here at racing. You can do road courses, you can do dirt, you can do rally, you name it. They have it here at iRacing.
Absolutely, definitely got something for everybody. If you're a road racer, you're an oval racer, you're a dirt racer, they definitely got something for everyone. It's awesome to see. Well, these guys here with these K&N cars here tonight, Sean, have put on a tremendous show here in the K&N series. And just by watching them here, with a couple cautions that we've had, just real quick, we've only had 3 cautions here tonight so far. Not bad for the field that we had, and especially I gotta let this be known to the viewers, and plus especially any new viewers out there that might be tuning in, that this is considered at ExtremeMotorsports99.com the entry level. Not to take anything away from any of these drivers out here, because they work to get to this level, But this is their stepping stone to get to the other series, the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and then get to the bad boys of the Cup Series here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. So, with that said, very good patience, very good poise, very good awareness by a lot of drivers out here that I'm seeing tonight on a track that can cause mayhem at every corner.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I'm glad you talked about that. And ladies and gentlemen, an example of drivers being able to get transferred to different series based on their experience. So we have last season's first ever champion of the Pro K&N Series, Hunter McDaniel, got transferred to the Track Series and Xfinity Series. And Tom Wetmore got moved out of the Track Series to the Xfinity Series, including the Cup Series on Wednesdays and Thursday nights. So check out ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Once again, you will not be disappointed. You guys can also not forget the series they have going on Monday nights at the exact same time as this Pro K&N Series. It's a road series. So if you guys are interested in turning left and right with the road machines, check them out. Extreme Motorsports 99.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely. That's what I say. They also got a road series. So a little bit for everybody if you like running, along with iRacing here. So definitely good times, good things. Lights are off on the pace car here, showing but set to go back green flag racing. When they cross that line, it's going to be 34 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway here for the K&N Series, here for the Fred's Pharmacy K&N Series. That is tonight, Talladega, ExtremeMotorsports99.com.
And here in the lead, David White with the help of Jason Anderson on the inside. The 08 of Cole Kidder. Cole Kidder, I've spoken much of him tonight. He's a new driver. He has come a very long way tonight. He was keeping a very low profile in the beginning, but he is now up here leading the outside with the help of the 7 of Gary Woobot. We are going green. And status check on the 112 of Brandon Ketchum, who had some bad luck last caution after missing his pit stall. He is now all the way up to 8th.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely missing his pit stall, but he's definitely coming back. Like I said, we talked about that 112. Might be sitting in the catbird seat. Won't take long for him to get back up front here as he starts there in the 7th spot. Talk about Cole Kidder, the man sitting right there on the outside. We'll see what he can do with that 59 machine of David White as we're coming out of turn 4 here.
And David White keeping that gap between him and the pace car to try and time his restart better. So here before too long, going green, pace car dips off.
Absolutely, pace car's off. We're going to set to go back green flag. Let's see if the 59 gets a good jump. He does get another jump out front. Just we've seen all night long that the leader has got that jump up there. Now it's not hurt him so far. If those guys catch on to that later on, and maybe that outside lane gets formed up, as you see the one car dropping down the inside, if they get that inside lane and outside lane formed up, they can freight train that 59 of David White up front.
Absolutely. Yeah, later on in the run, I'm pretty sure these drivers up front will end up freight training the leaders because it will become go time. And so far 27 of Jason Anderson was able to get around the leader 59 of David White and goes back down low. Nope, he stays high. Oh, he's thinking about it. He goes down low to be ahead of 59 of David White, but the outside line 08 of Cole Kidder with the help of 28 of Chris Voiles, a run of a lifetime.
Absolutely. You just saw that, the 27 machine there. Jason left his dancing partner there, Cole Kidder, on the high side. But you're going to see that 03, and then he's going to do the thing, cuts the nose of the 27 off. That's going to leave the outside lane. Here comes the 112 machine, though. He is going to try to push that number 28 there, Chris, as they go door to door into turn number 1.
Almost saw some contacts between 27 of Anderson and 28 of Voiles. No harm done. These drivers still racing nice and strong. 1-1-2. Brandon Ketchum to the rescue of 28 of Chris Voiles' rear end. The Hardy's machine. And now in line 3rd place on the outside is 36 of Jason Eisenhower. Adam Eisenhower, his brother, on the outside, 3 wide.
3 wide right there behind them as they come into the turn this time. 3 wide, double set right there. 2 wide up front. The 28 machine on the high side of Chris Voiles right there. Cole Kidder leading them coming out of turn 4. But they are still 3 wide back there. They're going to try to see if they can tuck on inside lane there. Maybe that 86 will. We'll have to see. No, he's going to stay to the high line. He's got a momentum. He's going to see if he can get it done going into turn 1.
Yep, Damian Crump here being a helping hand, a helping bumper to Adam Eisenhower while trying to get some draft off the rear end of 112 of Brandon Ketchum to use it to suck up to the back bumper of Adam Eisenhower. But so far, Adam getting a big charge on the exit of turn number 2 through turns number 3. Big drag race between him, 28 of Voiles, and the 08 of Kidder.
No doubt, coming into turn 3 out of turn 4. They are 3 wide up front for the lead right now, and for second place, they are bumper to bumper, nose to tail out of turn 4, 3 wide, almost 3 sets back. The battle for the lead up front. Cole Kidder down low, the 28 in the middle. We're going to sit that 28 dives low. He does, leaves the middle man out right now, but they are still 3 wide heading into turn 1.
And Joe, I should admit, man, oh man, contact 112, Brandon Ketchum, 44, Damian Crump, no harm done, still going nice and strong. Like I was gonna say, I should admit, we talked about how Chris Voiles was not looking too pretty with the damages he sustained with the 3 wide action there early on, and also early on I've talked about how these machines are tanks throughout the whole entire season, and they're defining that as we speak.
They are, but you see that inside lane is not getting a push like the outside is with him out front. We're going to have to see what happens here now that the outside lane is formed up with a lot of different cars, 3 up high, about 3 or 4 low. You can see the man out front, that 86 machine's able to get a run along with the 44. So you can see that front end damage might be hindering him all so much. Cole Kidder behind him might have to make the decision, and he does, to go high to get out from around that 28 machine.
Yep, and all 3 machines right there were able to clear the inside line. Brandon Ketchum, Damian Crump, Adam Eisenhower, and the 08 of Cole Kidder jumping out of line is going to pay the price, and so far getting freight trained at a very fast rate, but not to worry, 36 of Jason Eisenhower to the rescue of his back bumper, but so far seems like he will lose a lot more spots before he gains any.
No doubt, and I tell you what, up front, you still got the 86 machine leading a charge here. Guys can't go behind the loaded yellow line. Now you see the 28. That might have been a bad move right there because the 27, unless he goes with him, but I think he's better off to go along with the 112. He does go high. Now we're going to see if that outside damage on that car can bring him to the front or if it's going to hold him up. We'll have to see. Momentum will take him only so far.
Yep, and Jason Anderson gets to his back bumper, finally gives him a bump to life. Yes, he does. Trying to get, oh, they almost made contact with 44 of Damian Crump. No harm done. Still a drag race between the 2 leaders up front, Chris Voiles and Adam Eisenhower. You know what, we didn't speak much of Adam Eisenhower, Joe, but now he is up here from 20th place.
No doubt, he's up there, man, definitely running very, very good up front. Adam Eisenhower right now got that machine rolling. Going to see if that high line can maintain with the 28 out front there along with him. With the 27 machine there, Jason Anderson. Cole Kidder's there, tucked up line. So you got 4 cars high, about 5 or 6 down low. But you got about even set up high now because you got a couple more coming into the mix.
And I just saw right there, Chris Voiles, 27 of Jason Anderson, just hit the 200-mile-per-hour mark entering turn 1. This is most likely the fastest we've seen these machines go here tonight. These drivers have definitely found 5th gear. 27, Jason Anderson on the outside line. The 112, Brandon Ketchum on the inside. 08 of Cole Kidder. But looks like the outside has backed off to avoid hooking in the turns, and they will pay the price.
Well, you know, remember I said earlier on about how they had about a gap in between them. Well, look at these cars now. They're tucked up right up underneath the back tailgate. That's going to contribute to the speeds that we're seeing now because the guy behind them is pushing that guy in front for dear life. He is like, man, it's like, man, the snail, man, with a rabbit behind him. The rabbit's going, get out the way. I'll pick you up and carry you. And the guy behind right now is definitely doing that as they tucked up. Oh, big one in the back there. David White's around, 48's around. No caution, though.
Tell you what, we're going to go back on the Dre broadcast and replay, take a look at the 48 of Christopher Smith, see if we can see exactly what happened there. But as you said, no caution. We stay green flag racing here, as it looks like that was actually between the 18 of Rick Mason, the 48 of Christopher Smith, as they were pushing. Oh, looks like the 21 checked up. The 10 got into the back of 48, nowhere to go. Fortunately collected the 18, but as you said, we are still green flag racing.
Oh man, Christopher Smith way off the pace, heavy damage on that machine. He'll be trying to go down pit road. The Lowe's Pro Services machine has seen better days, and as we speak, he is now approaching pit entrance. So hopefully he still has the only backup car here tonight, so he can be able to get back out there and do some damage.
Yeah, and we were talking about that 28 machine too. Look at him, he's fallen off the pace just a little bit. Fell back there to about the 5th or 6th spot. I just think that damage will only get him so far. But again, think about this, Sean. He doesn't have to get the car in the front. He only has to get about a bumper out there, inches, to win this race.
That's a very, very good point right there indeed. And as you can see right now, he's also trying to side draft every living draft off the guys on the inside. 112 of Brandon Ketchum, Damian Crump. At the same time, while he's side drafting, he is, covering less distance because the outside, middle to outside lane is more distance compared to the inside line. He is taking advantage of that, but 27 of Jason Anderson trying to get back to the rear end of 28 of Chris Voiles at a very fast rate.
He is, and the man up front, the 86 machine of Adam Heisenhower right there doing a very fantastic job. Along with the 44 of Damian Crump, the 28's trying to claw his way back up there. He's got help by 3 machines behind him right now. That 112's hanging on to every dear life right there. It's currently sitting about the 4th place, 5th place spot. So you got 3 cars, 4 or 5 cars down low, about 4 cars up high. We're going to see what happens to that 28 machine once he breaks past and gets up there by himself. We see him get right there to the leader, just can't quite break past that barrier.
And Joe here, the 08 of Cole Kidder, who was up there not too long ago, has ended up just deciding to back it down, and so far keeping a safe gap between him and this pack. And his next victim for draft being the 83 of Hal. Amy gets a good run against him. He backs it down to just ride for now. This could be a good strategy. I mean, this is a good strategy because he's still in the draft of the lead pack and still has enough reaction time if anything were to happen.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely back there behind him there, that 08 machine of Cole Kidder. So it's definitely a good strategy on his end. You never know what's going to happen. There's still 23 laps left in this one. Still a very long time. A lot of guys will go, well, man, there's not much time left. Well, in a plate track, you got to realize this is 2.66 miles. It takes them almost a minute, about 50 seconds to get around, roughly, to get around this place. So with that said, it is quite a bit of time there with 23 to go. So where he's sitting at definitely is a pretty good position. I've always said this before, Sean, is on a restart or anything like that, the 3rd or 4th place guy is the place that I would really like to be. The leader, we've seen them win it like that on restarts, but man, I'm going to tell you, it's a hard one.
Oh, indeed, man. It's all about that perfect timing when it comes down to it. And yep, Chris Voiles on the outside still trying his best to maintain the lead. But so far is currently being shown in the 2nd place spot, getting around the machine on the outside. 23 of Matt Ridgway. Matt Ridgway, who had some bad luck there, he is being shown 4 laps down. Just went an additional lap down to now become 5 laps down. And now we have only 22 laps left, ladies and gentlemen, with 55 laps. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong machine here. 59 laps complete and 22 laps remaining. So we're going to take this time to take our first commercial break of the evening. We'll be right back, so please stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fred's Pharmacy 250. That's a Fred's Pharmacy 250 here with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com. But before we go any further, we have some pit stops kicking in here. We have 86 Adam Eisenhower, 44 Damian Crump, 112 of Brandon Ketchum going down pit road. First and final green flag pit stops of the evening.
Yeah, we definitely got some good green flag. We were just talking about that on the break here. They're definitely going to have to make one more pit stop, and that's going to definitely shake this thing up here. Now, obviously, if a caution comes out, messes everything up. But we're going to have to see, man, how long these top three stay out here before they try to make a pit stop.
You've been speaking of the top three drivers out there staying out. They have 23 laps on their tires and tanks thus far, with Jason Anderson in the race lead. Yes, Jason going down pit road. Chris Voice's pusher going down with him. Is Gary pitting in? Yes, Gary Woolbot pitting in. And we have Kerry Cleaver pitting in as well. So top four drivers going down pit road. Actually, that's everybody down pit road.
Yes, it is. Everybody coming down. So good strategy call amongst these guys. Now's where you might see a few guys doing the two-tire stop here. Might even see a guy take it and do no tires. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Yep, speaking of the two-tire pit stop, we have some drivers, some takers. Damian Crump, Adam Eisenhower, including Jason Eisenhower and Cole Kidder. All these drivers are two-tire heroes. But looks like up there, 27 of Jason Anderson is taking 4 tires with full tank of gas.
He is. He looks like he's the one and only one up there, along with Tommy Amassi taking 2 tires. And Brandon, the 112, like he took 2 tires, long pit stop from him. Hurt him really bad there with a 17-second one. But a lot of the top 4 guys, just 2-tire pit stops. And like I said it earlier on, now's the time when you want to play that strategy here. But the thing is, though, our leader of the 10, Chris, got way, way far out front there. And those guys behind him in the 44, they're going to be able to catch him in a hurry.
Yep, they will catch him. They will freight train him. They will get past. They will go around him as though he's sitting on the jack stands. And yes, they are coming up to him at a very fast rate. He stays middle to let them by.
Yeah, good sportsmanship on his end. Driver awareness. He's going to tuck in behind him, try to catch that draft. Hopefully he doesn't lose it on him. As those top 3 guys right there, the 40, 40, 86, along with the 28. Now, they got a lap down car right there in the middle of them. Going to help them out just a little bit. Can't quite see what number that is, though. I do see a 36 machine, I believe it is.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
And Joe, we have some bad news. Unfortunately, one of the drivers blew their engines. That's the 83 of Hal Amy. Getting some intel there from his son in the chat. Hal Amy the third. So status check on Hal Amy. Yep, Hal Amy on pit road as we speak. And I believe he ended up using his backup car early on after getting to the back of one of the machines under caution.
Yeah, I hate to see that. Anybody, man, get took out of the race late on into the style race here, blowing it up. He's back right now, like you said, in the 21st position. Going to be several laps down by the time this one's over with. As we got 12 laps to go, and I always like to say, obviously, the last lap, that ends at 5 to go. Caution comes out. Well, that puts an end to it. So you got to keep that in your mind right now. As that man in second spot, he does have that lap down machine there, the 66 we talked about along with him. And the 28 who can maybe move up there. He is right there on the edge of their draft. If he can get sucked up on him there, might come into play. So, I said it before. In this situation, the second place man might be the man, because that third place guy has no bone in the fight, so to speak. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes with which one he goes with.
Absolutely, but we see right now 28 of Chris Voyles coming up to his rear end, and in most cases, if the second place driver, in this case, the timing once again comes into effect. It's very, very important to be successful as the second place driver, like Joe just talked about right there. So if Adam Eisenhower goes way too soon, way too late, it is going to be not beneficial.
No, it's not. So it's going to be interesting. But that 28 machine is also right there. So the 66, he's kind of the man out there. And, if you had a radio and could talk to somebody, you'd probably be like, hey, go with me, go with me. That'd be out there. Who can offer the most to that man? So, but you're going to need help. I mean, the 86 there of Adam, he's going to need help getting around the 44. The 28's obviously going to want to try to win this thing, but he's also going to want to try to put himself in a good position here to come out of this race. Going to be interesting to see what happens, man, as we get down to the closing laps and who goes where.
And Joe, in desperate situations, most drivers in the lead like this like to, you know, find some lapped traffic and use that to their advantage.
Well, they do, and that 66 is going to play into that. He's right there in the middle of this pack. He's the lone man out. Really doesn't have anything to gain here unless there's a caution. He'd have to have a caution like now probably to really help him out. But later on into the race here, as we get to closing laps, here as we come across, be 9 to go. He definitely doesn't have anything here to lose. He could even say, pull out the way and say, y'all go at it, guys. Or he could choose to try to help someone. And that might be the difference between winning or losing. You know, then again, you might see him go low with the man out front. And this, you know, the 86 go high and the 28 go high. Then we got a 4-car battle up front.
You know, Joe, I just now kind of caught up that Ralph Vandervoort 66, the third man in line, is 2 laps down. I actually thought the whole time he was in third place. That's why I was commenting the way I was. But absolutely, man, here Chris Voiles here might try and use him once it comes down to it. You're going to see exactly how things play out. You know, we've seen the top 2 drivers so far, Adam Eisenhower and Damian Crump. They've stuck together all race long, but that friendship will not last once that white flag flies, like we had talked about there early on. And here's 7 of Gary Woolbert in that 4th place spot in a pack of his own with the 27 of Jason Anderson. Actually, a 2-man team so far, about 12 seconds behind the leaders.
Yeah, and you're right. It's just the thing up here, the 86 there, Adam Eisenhower, he's going to need help to get around. If he jumps out of line at this point right now, the 66 is going to stay low, and that 28 is going to come. They're going to freight train him, and he's just going to drop to the back. Now look at the 66 machine. He comes out of line, and he did what I thought I was saying a little bit earlier. He says, well, fellas, I don't want to have anything in this one. Go at it. Y'all 3 are the ones running. Now it is a different ball game, Sean. Who will the 28 help and what? So if you're the 2nd place man sitting there, well, you got to be scratching your head. Well, if I stay where I'm at, I'm kind of okay. If I go to the outside, will the 28 come with me?
Ooh, yep, and in this case, 28 of Chris Voiles, in his mind is like, if it comes down to it, if, for example, Adam Eisenhower went high to try and be side by side with the leader, Damian Crump, on that white flag, let's say entering turn number 3 or exiting turn number 4, Chris Voiles will be thinking, which line is faster? Because, you know, 2nd place is always better than 3rd.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing you got to think about. It's always going to be better for the guy sitting there in 3rd, so it'll be interesting to see as we get the closing laps here. We come across the lap this time by Damian Crump out front. He's got 6 to go, and I know in the back of his mind he's thinking, what are those 2 guys behind me going to do? He knows they got to work together, but it does not take a car, passing the leader. He only has to have inches there coming across the line, and we've seen him won that way here time and time again at Talladega. So even if the 86 dumps to the outside there of the 44, he might could get enough momentum coming through the tri-oval to get just enough in front of that 44 machine.
Yeah, but now we also have a new machine here in this mix, the 31 of Andrew Riley. No harm will be done to these drivers. Unfortunately, Andrew Riley is 4 laps down due to having some bad luck there early on, but he is still here in it to win it so far, being a helping hand to the leaders with now 6 laps remaining. Actually, now 5 this time around.
Yeah, and most notably, too, when they come across to the backstretch here for caution, was to come out pretty much at this point. The race would be over with here. That man up front, you got to keep that in mind. Now the 31 machine tucking up to the back end of the 28 there, Chris. Now that 38 machine there, 23 machine there, he has a lap down, like we said. Well, the point of he's looking like he's wanting to look around a little bit. He might could try to take that high side. Maybe push that 28. We've seen Chris do it earlier on in the race. It's a matter of if he's wanting to do it again. And if I'm not mistaken, Sean, I think he might have used his fast fix because I don't see the damage on the front of that 28 machine.
Oh, yes, he did. And look at that. The leaders up front going at it. Adam Eisen. Oh, they made contact, exchanging that paint. And Chris Voyles, Andrew Riley, all going against the previous leader, 44 of Damien Crump, and new leader, 86 of Eisenhower.
Yes, he did. Made that pass, got momentum, got help up top. That leads to 28 right there up high. He's got help. Like I said, though, it's turned into a 4-car shootout here. The lap down machine up there is helping the 28. We're going to see if Chris can actually get a run coming into turn number 3. It's going to be 3 laps to go this time by. But our new leader, that 86 machine of Adam Eisenhower, put it to the front. And he did a magnificent job and a pass in the man in the 44 machine.
Yep, that was textbook right there by Adam Eisenhower, and great strategy on his part. And 31 of Andrew Riley trying to get some air into that motor. 66 of Ralph Vanderforst right behind. So the 2 lapped machines helping 28 of Chris Voyles. Chris Voyles is clear of the inside lane by deciding to stay high. You don't want to, bite the hand that feeds you. Or fed you.
No, that's right. You're absolutely. It's your dancing partner. He brought you to the game here, brought you to the dance. Don't want to leave him out dry right now. He could stay up high. Looks like that high lane's got the momentum. Now they've got the 86 machine in a bad position. As he's down low, the 44 Damien Crump, he's going to try to go high here to try to get that momentum. 2 to go this time by. Can that man up front, the 28 machine of Chris, hang on to it here long enough as he goes onto the apron, almost gets wiggly. I think they were contact.
Yeah, it looks like it was a bad bump or bad contact between him and his pusher, but that benefits 86 of Adam Eisenhower, who takes the lead of the outside, actually the inside line this time around, but then dumps 66 of Ralph Vanderforst, but 44 of Damien Crump on the rear end of 66 of Ralph Vanderforst, and trying to push him past the inside.
Yes, it is. And the problem that the 44 has is he's got a 66 in front of him. He can push him to the front there. He's probably going to want that 66 machine maybe to dive down in front of that 86 up there. He's in the middle of 2-lap cars, so he's not only does he have to make it past his. We're coming to the line. The white flag is out. This is for all the marbles here tonight at Talladega.
Ladies and gentlemen, put those seat belts on. Put 2 or 3 seat belts on. 1 will not be enough. And hang on tight. It's going to be a bumpy final lap. White flag. 44 Damien Crump side by side with 86 of Adam Eisenhower. Ralph Vanderforst on the outside leading it. But no harm here. He is once again 1 lap down. And here on the inside, 28 of Chris Voyles is falling off the pace with 86 of Adam Eisenhower, because the outside is a place to be so far.
No doubt, coming into turn 3 for the final time here. The 44 Damien Crump moves on the inside there. That 66 plays no factor in the win here as they come out of turn 4. Up high, the 86 machine. They make contact in the wall. Coming across, they hit the hard right there in the wall. Oh, man, they're not going to win this one. But I think the 28 machine, he is going to take it coming out of the turn and win Talladega.
What a game changer, the final lap, the final turn actually, turn number 4. Oh man, that's unfortunate for both drivers, but Chris Voyles brings this thing home. First win of the season for Chris Voyles, and coming out in 2nd place, Adam Eisenhower. Surprisingly, still they had quite the lead against everybody else due to the green flag pit stops. Jason Anderson comes out 3rd, Gary Woobot 4th, and Tommy Amasi in the 5th place position. Holy cow.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a awesome finish right there. The 44, man, had to do everything along with the 86 there of Adam. So Damien and Adam just making contact there in the end, and it was just all she wrote. Just 2 hard guys racing for the win. But that lets that man there in the 28 machine, Chris Voyles, pull off the victory. Had damage earlier on, but held on to it here at Talladega to win tonight.
Oh man, and speaking of Chris Voyles, we have Chris Voyles up here in the booth. We are focusing on him. So Chris Voyles, buddy, the camera is all yours. You know what to do? Burn it down.
I'm going to have to drive it all the way back around there now.
and the smoke show begins.
All right, Sean, I'll tell you what, we got the guys up here tonight. Let me, we're going to get a hold of our special guy here in the 112 machine, Brandon. Definitely, he had a popular club out there in the chat all night long. The man, he did a fantastic job, and he finished this one out here. Let me real quick get where he was, the 112. Actually coming in 10th place tonight. Brandon, is Joe at the booth? Got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'll tell you what, Brandon, looking good. Earlier on, you got caught up there up front, overshot your pit box, but you came back, got 4 tires, and was able to battle back up. How was the car? How was everything all night long?
Car was great. That first pit stop, I botched it. That first spin that happened right in front of me put a lot of rubber and stuff on my windshield, and then that car that blew up, I just followed through his smoke and couldn't see my pit stall, so I just went around, came back in, didn't let it affect me too bad, and tried to work my way back up.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got Joshua and all the club out there. They're cheering you on all night long. Definitely a good bounce back, finishing out here in 10th tonight here at the K&N Series for ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Got anybody out there you want to thank for a good finish?
I'd like to thank Kobe Eye Paints for sponsoring the car, Josh Gillum from Gillum Motorsports for giving me the chance to drive. I'd like to thank my wife for supporting me on the stream, and just everybody out there who was behind me.
Absolutely. But again, man, congratulations on pulling up a top 10 here at Talladega. Very tricky and unusual place here, kind of one of the wild card races here. But again, congratulations on a good finish tonight. 112 for Brandon.
All right, thanks.
That was a special guest right there, Brandon Ketchum. Next in line is 27 of Jason Anderson, finishing in the 3rd place spot, rounding up the podium. Good come up there, Jason.
Hey, how's it going, bud?
Good, how are you?
Good. Better night than last Monday, for sure.
Oh, indeed, man. Glad to hear about that. And yep, tonight seems to have been your turning point, buddy. You've had some bad luck all season long, but tonight was different. You brought your A++ game, which was much needed. How's your experience?
Not bad. I mean, these cars are a little bit harder to drive. I think I've only driven the trucks here at Talladega, so there's a little bit of learning curve, just filling out how the car handles here.
Oh, indeed. And we also noticed one thing out there. You did not seem to have a designated partner or teammate. You seem to have just been being a helping bumper to any machine that seems to have been had gotten in your way. What contributed to your success tonight, despite not having a teammate?
Well, I did have a teammate, Matt Ridgway. Me and him were good buds, but he took damage early on, so it was kind of just myself out here. And yeah, I just kind of pick and chose smart places to put the cars. A couple guys that I kind of slammed the door on, and I'm sure I pissed him off, but hey, you know, I had to get up to the front, and it ended up being me, Gary, and Caleb at the end of it there, and I'm just glad Caleb was there to push me in front of Gary at the end.
Oh, absolutely, man. Well, congrats on your success once again here tonight, buddy. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week at Chicagoland. Before I let you go, any final words?
No, I just want to thank Strike Energy for all their help that they're helping out with our little AR-15 racing team, and thank you guys for having me out.
And that was 3rd place driver 27 of Jason Anderson. I'm going to go ahead and cover the 2nd place finisher tonight, 86 of Adam Eisenhower, having a game changer on the exit of turn 4, the final lap. Got a copy there, Adam?
I do, Sean. Thanks.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. It was quite a finish.
Oh, yes, it was. And I should admit, you know, we did not see much of you all race long. But when we did see you, we could not get rid of you. You went from 20th place to 1st place in only 1 lap on 1 restart with the 44 of Damian Crump. How's your experience?
It was a great race, and I hung out in the back for most of it by design. Just count the laps away, let them pass by safely, and feel out the vibe of the race, and the race seemed like it was going pretty well. So I thought of just past the halfway point. I think it was 36 to go. I decided to start making my way towards the front. It happened pretty quickly, and the rest was history from there.
Oh, indeed. And there on the exit of turn 4, actually, let's speak about the last 5 laps of the race, the most hectic ones when it comes from your end. What was going on through your mind? What were you trying to do? What did you think was the best thing to do?
Well, what was going through my mind, if I honestly say that, I might get penalized, but I don't know. It was a mess up there. 3 of the 5 cars were on the lead lap. Obviously, 2 of them were not. And, just trying to position yourself, find out who was going to push who. I thought I was in a good spot. And, Damien and I ran good early in the race. And then through to get us to those last couple laps, it's a shame that him and I got together there coming out of 4. But obviously, I wanted to win, so I was going on the outside of him, and he didn't want that as much. And we just got together. But I gave it the good old Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights finish and limped across the line, and luckily we were that far ahead. I still was able to get second.
Well, congrats on your success here despite a sudden change of events on the last lap, and great success after having not so much of a success last week at Sonoma, but it was amazing seeing you propel here tonight. Well, before we let you go celebrating, final words.
Well, yeah, thank you to you guys putting the race on, and Extreme Motorsports 99, my teammates Jason and David White. They were up in the front all night, and we sort of bookended the field. Congrats to Jason on his first Extreme Motorsports 99 pole position, which is awesome. And thanks to everyone who puts this on, supports me, watches, and appreciate it all. Thank you all.
Well, congrats on your success, buddy, and see you again next week.
Thank you.
And that was second place finisher, but next in line, Joe was able to get a hold of the winner tonight, Chris Voiles.
Yeah, Chris Voiles, Joe right in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Well, I tell you what, right, that was an awesome finish out there. You definitely was sitting there lurking in the back there around second, third, fourth of those closing laps. Take us through that last lap there. Did you think you had the momentum to be able to pull that thing off here tonight at Talladega?
Well, I want to thank Adam and Damien there for running me real clean. I didn't know that. I knew they were teamed up together. I really didn't think I stood a chance. And then, the lap before that, it was almost over for me. I got a little hit from behind and got sideways and was able to recover. So that actually may be what gave me the win right there, because I recovered and didn't lose hardly any time.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we saw you earlier on. You had a little damage, like you said, and you was able to get that fixed. Be able to bounce back here. You were up front there. We saw the lap down cars there helping out. But you just put yourself in the right position here at Talladega. It's a wild card race. Anybody's ball game. So again, man, an awesome win here tonight. Coming across the line. I mean, definitely, you got anybody out there you want to thank for it?
I want to thank everybody at Extreme Motorsports for putting these on. Thank you guys for broadcasting. All my Banner Motorsports teammates, we're gearing up to run a 24-hour race coming up soon, and this win's for them.
Absolutely, and it was an awesome win at that here at the K&N Series here at Talladega Super Speedway for ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Tonight's winner here, Chris Voiles, pulling it off here in the number 28 machine.
Thanks, guys.
Sure, I want to tell you what, that was awesome.
Oh man, indeed. Oh man, we saw some green flag pit stops so much side by side going on throughout the whole entire track. You also talked about that early on, Joe, about how qualifying is important. At the same time, it's not the most crucial thing out there, because we saw some drivers who started in the back of the pack find themselves up front, namely Chris Voiles in this case, dead last to first place. Adam Eisenhower from 20th place to second place. So that was an amazing race, man, but I'm glad that everyone was happy despite the sad ending, and it was a pleasure calling the race with you, man. Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure coming up here helping out. Definitely is always a good one here And it's always good to be on here with the, I call him Dre, but Dave here, the Dre Broadcast Network. You guys do a good job here, and I appreciate y'all letting me come up here and help you out.
And ladies and gentlemen, Joe White is the owner of the online sim racing network, the OSR Network, here on YouTube. Hey, Joe, wanna give us some information about the OSR Network?
Well, you can catch us, man, on Wednesday and Thursday here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. You can catch us pretty much about 6 or 7 days a week here online, YouTube, man, OSR Network, Facebook at OSR Network, and Twitter at OSR Network. So definitely check us out. Me and Dave, we call it Race on Wednesdays. You can hear old Dave here at Drake.
Absolutely, that's Online Sim Racing Network, ladies and gentlemen, OSR Network, just like he had talked about. And thank you very much for joining us here tonight. The Fred's Pharmacy 250, round number 11 of 15, the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series. Well, the next race will be next week, same time. American Ethanol 225. That's American Ethanol 225 at Chicagoland Speedway. Well, tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, the first race in the Chase race number 1, Extreme Motorsports 99.com Truck Series. It's going to be right here at Talladega Super Speedway for the Fred's Pharmacy 250, so the exact same title as tonight. And also Chase Race 1 in the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series with Joe White and David Everly, and Chase Race 1 as well in the Extreme Motorsports Cup Series on Thursday night with also Joe White on the Online Sim Racing Network. I am Sean Zulu, David Everly behind the cameras, and Joe White, the Online Sim Racing Network owner, being our special guest tonight. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.